right, it'd be great if you guys could subscribe to our YouTube channel. Really helps us out there. If you have any questions throughout this whole video on flying with the gear, be sure to drop them in the comments below. I'll definitely get back to you guys. Also, there is a lot of logistics that go into flying with the weapon, especially a rifle. So if you have any detailed thoughts about that, I actually wrote an article last year that will drop down in the description below, so check that out. It goes through all the TSA regulations, what locks you should use, that sort of thing, so be sure to check out that article. It should be a very informative video. This is gonna be all about flying with hunting gear. There's a lot of logistics that go into flying with your hunting gear. You got bags that have to meet a certain weight limit. You got to travel with your weapon. It could be a bow, it could be a firearm. And here's just gonna be some little tips I've done over the years when flying with a weapon. So you don't have to take a ton of bags, save on baggage fees, and keep your gear nice, and make sure you don't have any mishaps when you're at the airport. Someone loses some of your gear. Ways to keep separating things out so you still have some gear for your hunt until maybe when your baggage arrives later. What I'm walking through here is a strategy I use all the time on flying. We're going to talk about right now rifle hunting. So this is what I would take every year up to Montana, usually on a family mule deer hunt. So for weapon, you have a lot of different options on like gun cases. You might be accustomed to a gun case like this. It could be like maybe a harder one that's aluminum. But a case like this, even though you can lock it, and this is a plastic case, I do not recommend flying with a case like this. First of all, it looks like a gun. And I don't know what it is, maybe it's my thought in my head, but flying in an airport, I do not want to have a luggage that's shaped like a gun. You never know what these baggage handlers are doing. I'm sure they're great at taking care of our bags, but they could see a gun case and just like toss it a little bit harder. Another problem with this too is just a gun case. You can't put anything else in here. So you have to pay maybe 25, 50 bucks for your second bag. You can't put any extra gear in here. You can't put any clothes. You can't put any optics. It's just a gun. So you're basically wasting extra money and weight that you could be flying with gear. So don't use one of these cases, no matter what. Even if they're big aluminum cases, just don't use a single rifle case. So what I suggest doing on an airplane flying with a weapon is a big giant case like this. This is a double rifle case. And so inside here, as you can see, I have my rifle laid down. I have it laid down here in the back. What I'll do is take a bunch of my extra clothing and start packing it around my weapon. I can even put some of my optics in here if I want to, or sometimes I like to, maybe keep your optics out and use it on a carry-on just in case, maybe your weapon doesn't show up. Someone else has a weapon, but you still want to be able to glass with items. So I'm just trying to make sure I utilize all the space in my case, one big weapon, and a bunch of my clothes, and trying to make this weigh whatever the weight limit is for your flight. So 50 pounds, try to maximize my whole space, take a bunch of clothing. I might take extra clothing, protect it on the scope, that sort of thing. I could put rangefinder, I could put my Kestrel inside of here. Just figure out ways to utilize the space to maximize that 50-pound limit. It's gonna help you in the long run, because then all your gear is gonna be in here, everything's gonna be kind of protected more, and your gun's gonna be protected. And also, again, this case does not look like a rifle case, and as you can see on the back of my case here, I don't put any stickers on there. I don't want people to know, hey, it's a hunting case, hey, here's a bunch of hunting stickers, plastered across it, just for safety reason, in case someone else steals your luggage when you're at the airport, and so no one beats up your case when it's throwing on the airplane. Also, another thing I've been doing lately too is usually when you fly, you get a personal item, so that's gonna be my backpack. Backpack's gonna have camera gear. I'll even, like I said, if I don't want to put these in my gun case, I'll put my rangefinder, my Kestrel, a few other hunting things, maybe some pair of pants in your carry-on, because the carry-on doesn't, there's no weight limit there. That's on my personal bag, I should say. But then like a carry-on, lately I've been starting to use the Yeti soft cooler. This is the Hopper M30. And what I'll do when I'm flying to a hunt is I'll open it up, take my pair of binos, because again, in case something gets lost, I put my binos in here, throw a bunch of extra clothes, random things, toss it in there, push it all up. This will fit right on the upper portion of an airplane, easy carry-on to have. And then when you come back, you can also transport a bunch of your meat in here and then move my binos to my rifle case and just move things around again. It's kind of nice putting your optics in here, and that way you have a bunch of your expensive items on you at all times at the airport, and nothing will get lost. So it's a sweet bag for flying. And then on the other bag side, so I'm trying to limit how many bags you have, because it gets expensive really fast when you fly, because you got a lot of heavy stuff. So what I like to do, where my hunting boots are going to be, I'm going to wear these on the airplane. I would love to wear my Crocs on the airplane, but my Crocs can easily fit my suitcase here, and they don't weigh much. So wear your heavy pair of boots on the airplane. Helps save weight and save space in your backpack. And then on this hunt, I did carry 2 different boots. So I do have my bigger pack boots in here. And what I like doing too is either using a big suitcase that's not really heavy. Because again, once you have a heavy suitcase, that's gonna eliminate how much gear you can bring. But try to find a bag that's really lightweight, or you can use a duffel bag if you just have a bunch of miscellaneous gear that's not gonna get beat up, like a big giant duffel bag, and you can store your clothing in there. But another thing I like to do too is I'll throw my backpack. A lot of times I've used it as a carry-on, but you can also just take, maybe you have a bigger backpack, throw it in one of these bags. That way everything's gonna be secure, and it also helps protect anything else you might have in here. Because I have my tripod, I have a box of ammo in there, and I just try to put clothing around this stuff. Just try to help everything be in one spot and save space overall. So it might not seem like, the biggest tip out there, but these are just things that you might overlook sometimes when you're flying. So it gets confusing, gets complicated really fast. You're always packing last minute, and just realize that, hey, you need to separate things out, maximize your 50 pounds that you can carry on an airplane. Try to do it as minimum bags as possible. It's gonna save time, gathering bags, hauling them around an airport, getting into a rental car, wherever you gotta do. So there's little ways to help make flying with a weapon a lot easier.